In this first part of the experiment, I'm going to test your short-term memory.
It's not an easy decision.
127, start subtracting 7 out of that.
All right, 127 you said?
Yes.
Okay, 127 minus 7 is 120. I was at the car wash one day and I picked up a magazine, the Tucker Times, and there was an ad in here for this study.
Push down on my hands with
When 60-year-old George Johnson saw the ad for Dr. Ehab Hajar's study, he knew it was something he had to do.
62. I think I missed one. My mom has Alzheimer's, and she's suffered from that since her 80th birthday.
Take a deep breath and hold it.
Whatever he learns about himself, he believes it can only help.
You can react to just about anything, but knowledge is definitely power in this instance.
Dr. Hajar, an Emory University Associate Professor of Medicine and Neurology, is recognized as one of the leading researchers in the world studying the connection between vascular and cognitive function.
When people have heart problems or are at risk of developing heart problems, such as those with hypertension, diabetes, hypercholesterolemia, they all tend to have a higher probability of developing memory problems.
Dr. Hajar's research suggests that hypertension, high blood pressure, leads to cognitive issues. The game-changing part of his research is that drugs already on the market and being used for high blood pressure, angiotensin receptor blockers, could help prevent those cognitive issues.
With repurposing of drugs, the advantages is that if it works, we don't have to wait the many years before it's given to people.
What we've learned about is that the risk factors for heart disease and the risk factors for Alzheimer's disease are so strongly overlapping. And why is that? That's where we're also gaining great insights. It's not a coincidence.
Dr. Alan Levy, head of the Alzheimer's Disease Research Center.
It's absolutely amazing what's transpired in the last 8 years.
Dr. Levy remembers the years when solutions and hope seemed impossibly far away. Not anymore.
I can taste it. It's coming. And we know that we can do even better as we move towards prevention. So the risk factors including blood pressure, high cholesterol, imminently treatable, exercise, imminently modifiable, diet, imminently modifiable, the amount of red wine, imminently modifiable, definitely have 1 or 2 glasses.
Steps we would take to prevent cardiovascular issues may now help stave off Alzheimer's. But the shift that Dr. Levy and others are seeing is even larger than the research or the fact we can do something to help ourselves. It's finally reaching the highest levels of healthcare.
Medicare is funding a huge study that we're involved in where individuals are getting PET scans to determine if they have amyloid present in their brain when they come to our clinics. This is a huge shift. Medicare, government insurers don't pay for those types of things because there's no treatment. So now Medicare even acknowledges that a treatment's likely. We're going to have to be able to have a 100% secure diagnosis before we administer expensive treatments.
Acknowledging and understanding the interconnected nature of our bodies is transforming treatment and prevention of Alzheimer's disease.
It's sort of obvious we're a person that has a brain, a heart, a pancreas, intestines, all these major organs, but at the end of the day, we're one organism, and all these things have to work together in sync.
There have been a lot of friends of ours who also have been affected.
Sally and Warren Jobe have been champions from the beginning.
A lot of our friends have gone through it, and we've been to the event most every year from the last 5 or 10 years.
One of Atlanta's most respected business community leaders, Warren, a former senior vice president of Southern Company and Georgia Power, also created and was president of the Southern Company Charitable Foundation, which has given millions to the community.
It was a pretty big foundation, and I was head of it. And I was very popular during those times.
In the decade Warren sat on the board of WellPoint, which is now Anthem, the largest managed healthcare company in the Blue Cross Blue Shield Association, he was watching friends like Mac Taylor lose their battle with Alzheimer's, and other good friends like Charlie Schaffer getting the diagnosis of mild cognitive impairment. He took action, launching a corporate-private partnership to advance research. The success of that partnership has become a model for corporate investment in scientific research that impacts millions of people. Warren and Sally continue their deep support of the ADRC as a family now directly impacted.
Sometimes you never know. I mean, I don't think people on the street and people that we see a lot know that I have a mild cognitive impairment. I've been very fortunate so far. I do have a memory issue, but I think on the street nobody would realize that.
Mild cognitive impairment is a condition that can worsen and eventually lead to Alzheimer's.
We feel it's very important to get involved and try to help find the cure.
And we feel like the cure's right around the corner.
And when we shared with Warren what Dr. Levy said about being able to taste it,
I can taste it. It's coming.
this was his response.
I hope he tastes it soon.
The passion of the Jobs, the willingness of research participants like George Johnson, the research done by people like Dr. Hajar, the leaders of the movement like Dr. Alan Levy, all moving faster than ever toward answers, toward hope that we can all grow old with our memories intact.
The Cards are in white uniforms as Ralph Guglielmi makes his first start at quarterback. He's off and winging with a beautiful touchdown peg to Taz Anderson that gives St. Louis a 7-0 lead at halftime.
And he's not going to go anywhere. He's going to stay here and drive me crazy for the rest of my life.
Oh, me. That's, I can't argue with that.